Hello, welcome to Web of Stories. My name is Melinda. It's Friday, which means it's 5 on Friday time. And this is something started by Suey over at Suey's Book Banner, where each Friday we give you five themed books. I'll just give you a list. I'm not always going to say they're recommendation, although today might be a recommendation. Oh, I'm crooked. Sorry. But we don't coordinate our themes, so I don't know what Suey's doing, but I can guarantee that her video is going to look a lot better than mine because she does a lot of editing and makes it look nice. I set a timer and talk for 5 minutes. Now, normally I start the timer and then I tell you what my theme for this week is. I'm worried about time with the books that I have, so I'm going to tell you ahead of time what my theme is, and then I will start the timer. In the United States, we're coming up on President's Day weekend. What is President's Day? Well, it's a day where we celebrate presidents. Really, it's a day we get off. It's not a super big holiday as far as celebrations in the United States. It just isn't. It's a day a lot of people get off work, kids get off school. There's lots of sales. They always have President's Day sales. But really, it's like we have President's Day so we can celebrate all the presidents instead of having a holiday for every, like, it used to be Lincoln's birthday and Washington's birthday and blah, 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 blah. I mean, look, there's lots of them. So this is President's Day weekend. And I thought I would do something presidential, but then I couldn't really come up with 4 really good presidential books that I felt okay recommending. Although I have a number of them, I just didn't feel okay about recommending some of them. So I decided to do sort of presidential adjacent. So this is 5 presidential-ish books for President's Day weekend. And now, let me start my timer. Now that we have that out of the way. Timer. 5 minutes go. So what I have for you are 2 novels, 2 memoirs, and a biography. The novels are related to each other. The memoirs are related to each other. The biography stands alone. So let's start with the fiction. And I'm going to start with the one book that I don't physically have, and that is Rodham by Curtis Sittenfeld. This is alternate history, and the premise of this is that Hillary Rodham never married Bill Clinton, and what happened. To be clear, this is not a spoiler. They do know each other, like they're together. It's just their relationship ends instead of them getting married. And it's fascinating. It is fascinating in a lot of ways. I really enjoyed it. I will say, it's not going to change the way you feel about Hillary Clinton. If you don't like her at the beginning, you're still not going to like her at the end. If you go into it liking her, you will still like her. So it's not going to change your feeling. And I don't think Sittenfeld wanted to do that. If anyone's read it and wants to discuss the end, let me know because I have thoughts. Okay, now sticking with Hillary Clinton, I have State of Terror with Hillary Clinton and Louise Penny. There they are. Now, personally, I think it should be Louise Penny and Hillary Clinton because from what I understand, Hillary Clinton kind of thought up the general idea of the story and gave the details, but Louise Penny actually wrote it. So this follows a Secretary of State, and there's the big international thing. It's a very good thriller, which is notable because Louise Penny writes mysteries, which are very different than thrillers as far as pacing, but she does a really good job with this. And there are some very, very thinly veiled characters, and normally I'm I just say who they are. But I think Hillary Clinton, of all people, gets to do that. But I really had a lot of fun with this, and if you are a Louise Penny fan, you guys need to read this. That's all I'm going to say about that. So let's go on to our memoirs. We're going to move from the Clintons to the Obamas. And of course, Becoming. This is one of my all-time favorite memoirs. This is an absolutely amazing memoir. Michelle Obama is like a queen among women. She is amazing. Just her outlook on life, her strength, her intelligence. I cannot stop talking about it. And this is a very vulnerable memoir. She goes there. She goes there with this, and she talks about things that have been struggles for her and things that hurt her. She does a whole chapter in here about the struggles that they had with infertility. Put a pin in that because my next book is Promised Land by Barack Obama. By the way, both of these I recommend on audio, and you will need to speed this one up. So this is part 1 of 2 of Barack Obama's presidential memoirs, and so there you go. It's a presidential memoir. You know what to expect. I will say this about him. One thing that I learned about this is I have great respect for this man. I think he was a great president, great respect, but I think he's probably a very difficult person to be married to. For example, As I said, in this book, there's a whole like really just heart-rendering chapter about their struggles with infertility. In this book, and let me read it to you. I actually went and found it. This is the entirety of that. Oh crap, I'm gonna lose my time just because I can't, but here we go. Then one day in the fall of 1997, she called me at the office, her voice trembling. "It's happening." "What's happening?" "You're going to be a daddy." I was going to be a daddy. How full of joy the months that followed were. That's all he says about it. So definitely, there's a male-female thing. I recommend both of these, but do this one first. Okay, just do it first. So those are my memoirs. Okay, now my biography, and this should be no surprise. How much time do I have? Ooh, I have like a minute and a half, or almost a minute and a half. This should be no surprise. This was one of my favorite books the year I read it, which was 2022. Also, ooh, big news. They're making this into they're adapting it into something. I don't know if it's going to be a movie or a TV show, but I'm so super excited about this. And that is Destiny of the Republic by Candice Millard. So this is a tale of madness, medicine, and the murder of a president. It's about James Garfield, who is amazing. James Garfield could have been one of our best presidents, except he died. There was an assassination attempt, but he actually died from complications of the wound, not from the assassination itself. There's a lot that goes on in this book. They talk about Alexander Graham Bell. They talk about germ theory and medicine. They talk about mental illness. I will say, no, obviously, if you didn't know already that James Garfield dies, you should know from the title, because murder of a president, so I'm not spoiling anything, to say that he dies in this book. I ugly sobbed. I ugly sobbed in this book more than I have in any other book. It's amazing. I'm running out of time. Go see the movie when it comes out. We're done. I did it with 2 seconds to spare. So those are my presidential-ish books for President's Day weekend. Again, anybody want to discuss the end of Rodham with me? Send me all my contact information is down below. Direct message on Instagram or direct message on Discord. Information how to join my Discord is down below. Great way to get a hold of me. Also, my email's there. So, yeah. So happy President's Day. Whatever sale you go to celebrate. Personally, I will be celebrating it by taking my daughter to her yearly doctor's appointment. I was hoping to sleep in that day. I don't know what made me think that planning that for 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning or whenever it was a good idea, but there you go. Happy Friday. I'll be back tomorrow with my weekly wrap up. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, send me questions for my 500 Q&A, and join my Discord down below. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.